First of all, let's go quickly through the agenda, which you've all received. First, we'll talk about the meeting minutes of November 12th. And I have one addition. I started to talk to Kathy about that. I'll mention it in a moment. And then we'll go through the fiscal 26 budget and a review of it to date and see how it's going. And then a discussion about the revenue in the Weir River water consumption, Weir River water company consumption, and review that. And then a projects update, which I assume John and others can give us a review of that. And then new business, which I just put a couple of things under that, really just more informational. One is just to talk about where we are about the RFP that is out there for the contract operator, and we'll talk about that just briefly. And then, as Kathy had sent, she sent us three annual at the annual town meeting of the town meeting in May. There are three articles that have been submitted by the sewer department, and we'll just talk briefly about that. So the first thing is the minutes of the meeting of November 12th, and I had reviewed them and thought they were okay. And then I went to the open meeting law meeting discussion, and the one thing that I noticed there, it does say that you need to keep minutes as part of the open meeting law. You need to keep minutes, which we do, and Kathy does, and include the date and place and so on. But it must include the members present or absent. So what we need to do in the minutes of this last meeting in November is to indicate that Paul Norton was not at the meeting, so he was absent. And I noticed back in the June 11th meeting, which we've already, approved, that also did not list two people who were absent. So we just need to make sure we say who's present and who's absent. That's the only thing that struck me that we needed to correct. So I just I'll make that note as a change in the minutes from the November meeting, just to add that Paul Norton was not at the meeting.
Okay.
Is there any other additions or corrections to the minutes?
Not for me.
Then we have a motion to approve
So moved.
by Scott, second.
Second.
Okay, Jordan. So all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
They were approved unanimously. Then we can go on to the budget review, and and Kathy sent out a note about the budget, and maybe you could just reiterate that, Kathy, because I know it's as I will make one comment that I did look at the budget up to date, and so far as of March 1st, we're 2/3 of the way through the year from July 1. And so that would indicate that 67% of the budget, more or less, would have been expended, and most of those items that I see in the budget are in that category. But I do know the revenue is different, and Kathy has already explained about a delay in the numbers coming from the Weir River Water Company. So that's delayed the third bill.
One. Yeah, so we've had two so far, and the revenue is like about 48% of what's budgeted, so that's right on track. We usually get our readings from Weir River in January. There was a delay, a long delay, because the parent company for Weir River, Veolia, they switched over their system, and they just didn't plan for the reports that they actually have to send out to people. And so they took a very long time coming up with the report that could actually be uploaded into our system so we could get the readings for the home residents. At the very end of that, it did look like we have to manually enter. We actually had Mike and Eileen entering some of the readings manually, thinking that's how we would end up, but they Veolia came through at the last minute. So we did send out the bills. They are late. But we did send a letter just stating that we would be on track with the next quarter. So it does give less time between payments to the next time it's being billed. We do apologize for it. It just was totally out of our hands with,
Right.
so we are hoping for better days. We did touch base with them and they do say that they should be set now. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed.
Okay, good. And I'm glad you put that letter in. That made sense to just warn people that they're going to see two bills within, a 2-month period instead of it usually be three-month period. So it doesn't upset their budgeting schedule, whatever.
I know. Well, we had people actually calling in February. No, I wouldn't know. But people calling in February asking where their bill was. Because they're very good.
Yeah.
They're budgeters and they had, where's my bill? Did you lose it? And you don't get that very often, but I was like, wow, they really are budgeters. I would not be calling at all. But they did. So it came out a little bit late but it'll come out hopefully on time next month. I think the next one goes out in May.
And I would also add, Kathy, Rick, that I think that's absolutely the way we have to continue to talk to our residents and keep them informed. It's such an important part of the communications, which is going to continue to improve our support as we go forward. So thank you. Well done.
Yeah, I agree. Does anyone else have any other comments or questions about the budget so far? This, the fiscal 26 budget that we're in right now.
I have a question about.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Sorry,
Peter.
It's the expenditure budget. I'm looking at the capital section of it, and we have moved none of those monies around or used any of it, and I'm not quite sure what that means. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So
capital improvements, 175,000. We've used zero.
Right.
Replacement, 50,000. We've used zero. So forth.
Right.
The only thing we have. Go ahead.
Usually the capital items, we try to, if you notice, even from previous years' expenditures, we don't use them unless it's really necessary, like a sewer break, or there's a pump that's gone down, or it's something like that. So that's usually where we use that capital to replace manhole covers that we know, but we usually hold off till the end just to see, or if an emergency happens, but hold off to the end for the big capital items, just to see if any emergencies come during the year that we will have to use them.
That's what I expected you'd answer. That's in addition. Those monies are in addition to the other projects that we're currently going that are funded by other means. So it isn't like they're the station pump 9 station projects that's going on now.
Yeah, but like the sewer break, it was around Christmas time. Lofgren was down there at Kimberma. So it was December 22nd to 24th. There was a sewer break outside Charisma Realty and the dentist's office on Nantasket, and that would come out of capital.
And so that would
haven't gotten the inputs yet.
So that would be reflected in our end of year expenditures.
It could be next quarter. It depends on whenever the invoice is processed and it shows against the expenditures.
Right. And Peter, I noticed the same thing. I went back to the last couple of years of reports from this same quarter. And in March of 2024, the same thing occurred. There's just 5% in the emergency repair category, and all of the other line items are essentially empty. So, yeah, it's a consistent reporting issue, or not issue, but procedure that's in the last several years of budgets that I have seen.
Thanks for the explanation.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the budget?
I have none.
And
None.
Kathy, I assume that there's you start working on next fiscal year budget outline. I assume there's that coming up soon, or I know there's a process that goes through. Oh, we can't hear you.
Did you lose me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, no, the, Tom and John just met with the advisory board. We put together a request, can I speak? And they went before the advisory board, I think it was yesterday or Monday. So we will be sending out, to you what was requested, and that it will appear at the town meeting for the request.
Yeah.
So that you'll have those items. We just wanted to, we have to get it approved by town hall and then the advisory board before we
Okay.
wanna, submit to you.
Okay. Then let's move on to the Weir River consumption revenue update. And so we know about their delay in getting information for us for this bill, but what else do we have on that subject? Kathy?
Well, I had, last time I asked a question about this subject, and it had to do with the number of addresses for which they have no reading at all. And I wonder how that has been addressed over the last couple of quarters.
So, the first one was last quarter, they had the 700 accounts that were missing completely. And then they gave us the readings for them and we had to manually enter them. And then, they have over, each quarter, I think that they've tried to get better about getting the zero reads, and getting the people. Of course, it does come with, they go find that person, or find the meter, or go look for the meter, and then, that person hasn't been billed for like 3 years. And so when they finally get the bill, it's like at 150 units. And so it does have its own process that goes through. It's but hopefully they keep claiming they're getting better. I do know that I believe Tom is looking into trying to do perhaps a flat rate. They're looking into it and trying to do some things around that, see how that would work, if it would work. Just so you might not have to rely so much on Weir River and the readings or non-readings, or problems with the meters.
And related,
It's just been going on for like 5 years, so it's just tiring.
the related issue was they were making payments to us,
Yeah.
$50,000, $10,000. Has that continued, or?
No, they are going to, that's different. That was based on, they had, they called it clerical error, and that was, from a couple of quarters from last year. And, when we had to give an abatement based on their error, we would bill them for whatever we lost on that. And so, we did do that. But that's only on the clerical error ones, the ones that they said it's clerical errors.
And there have
paid
been no
all the
more
ones
since
according
then.
to that. Yeah, because now it's not. I believe that they had somebody who was doing manual entries that were incorrect, and so that ended up why they reimbursed us.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was basically a one-time event and it has not recurred.
Right. It was just one thing, and I think it was 2 quarters worth, and I think the total came to what, 50,000 that they, but that was money that we gave to the resident. for the abatement, so they actually were just reimbursing us for them. But that's totally different than anything that's going on now. They are going to reimburse us for the work we put in for this delay with Veolia getting us the report for the man hours that went into the many different reports they sent, trying to get it to work, the people we had trying to do manual entry for hours. I mean, there's 4,500 accounts. So when they claimed they couldn't get the report to us at all, and we knew we had to get it out by this quarter, so we had people working 8 hours during the weekend trying to get as many in, and then finally Veolia goes, guess what, I got the report. So we're still going to bill them for those people's overtime period. Some
Okay.
of the people don't even get overtime, so it's not like it was directed towards the taxpayer. Some of the people for department heads don't get overtime, but we're still going to bill Ware River for their time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else about the water consumption revenue?
Not from
No, not for me.
And then the next item is a projects update, and I don't know whether we should wait, see if John
Yeah.
is back.
I can hear them still talking, so no, but we can discuss them. We did send you the annual report, which detailed the implant process, which is complete. Ocean alcohol, which is still ongoing, but I believe they expect it to be done by summer. This summer, Pump Station 9, which we are actually hoping will be done within a month or two.
Right.
It looks very nice. Like we've had some compliments from the people going to the ferry that it's attractive. I haven't been down there. I haven't seen it, but they do say that it does look nice, and they're very happy that some of their parking spaces are coming back.
Good. Then well, waiting for John. The other things may have just go to the basically it's on the new business, but just a couple of things that I brought up that I want to add to that to new business basically. And one is that we do have an RFP. The town has put out a request for proposal for the contract operator. So that contract that we have with them, the 10 years is up. And so they're now looking to have a new contract with, and so they put out an RFP. And I think from what I saw so far, Scott and I are going to be reviewing that along with other people from, along with Mike and, Tom and others over the next, basically the month of April. And then, and I think what I saw was there were 4 potential vendors who will bid on that request for a proposal that we have to look at their submissions. So anyway, more to hear about that in the next meeting probably. And then Kathy had sent out, I don't know if you've all seen that, the 3 warrant articles that have been submitted to the annual town meeting, along with a good overview explanation that was sent out. And just to reiterate that quickly, one has to do with retained earnings, which we have a policy, and it was also from the state, that we have to keep 15% of our operating budget must be kept in retained earnings. We currently have more than that amount. And so there's an article to take a portion of that money, so we still have 15% reserved for operating budget. And the balance would be transferred to a capital emergency replacement reserve account. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory, I think. And then the second article has to do with a home rule petition. Basically, as I mentioned earlier, we have a we currently, when we put out the bid, go by state construction laws requiring us bid projects and strictly have to pick the lowest bidder under a rigid building rules. I'm reading right off of it. That designated as for school, but it's designated mostly for schools and large municipal buildings. So this legislation would allow the town to continue to use competitive bidding, but through a best value process that considers experience, reliability, and long-term cost versus just lowest upfront price. I mean, I think that statement says it all, and I certainly, in a general sense, agree with that. Should be a good approach when we go out to bid for
Makes
things.
sense. Right, makes sense.
Well, we certainly all prefer the best price for the best service.
Right.
But I agree that we need discretion to retain or secure the best contractor,
Right.
who has the best fit for this town.
Yeah.
But we can't continue, or the department can't continue to be the best run department in the town without relying on the experience and the
And the quality of
quality of
the service from it.
That's right. We still want things to go away when we push the handle down on the toilet.
Right. That's right.
That's got to continue. Absolutely. But I agree totally. And I think this is an important discretion.
Yeah. And it seems to me that must be something that is being used for other agencies or other departments in other towns, using that discretionary, reliability and experience consideration along with lowest bid.
I think that Tom and John looked into it, and I believe other people are doing the same.
Yeah.
And so that's why, because you give it to the lowest bidder, that doesn't make it the best person.
Right.
And it might actually be more expensive after change orders.
Kathy, do you know if this has been reviewed by town council?
Yes, everything that is here, all the warrant articles get reviewed by town council before we bring them to Lori West to town meeting.
Okay, excellent. Very good.
And then the third one is about contract extension. Again, it's pretty straightforward and common sense. It says it allows the town manager to add up to 5 optional 1-year extensions to the wastewater operations maintenance contract beyond the current 10-year term originally authorized by the town. It simply gives the town flexibility, so if it gets to the end of 10 years and they, for whatever reason, don't have time to go through the whole process of doing a 10-year contract, a renewal, or should be out to bid rather, they can extend that contract for a 1-year terms at a time, as long as the performance is still there, and so on, and I assume appropriate compensation to match that 1-year term. So those are the 3 articles that are on the warrant for the town, for the sewer department specifically.
Just a little something too, Rick, just on the contract extension. Right now, Woodard and Current is on a 1-year extension. They last year was their 10th year. This is actually their 11th year, but it's the 1-year extension for them. Yes.
Okay.
But we needed more time for the RFP to get somebody out there to help us create it, what we needed and wanted.
So we're essentially codifying an existing process, or recodifying. Is that correct?
Right.
I think it's the 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's
Right.
the number of the 1-year extensions.
Right. Okay.
Rick, I have a question.
Yes.
These warrant articles are in preparation for town meeting. And our schedule, the schedule as it stands right now, would have us making a recommendation for the contractor prior to town meeting. Are we Do we need to report that at the meeting? Is that something that,
I don't think that that's part of the process that we have to do that. Of course, if in the discussion, it may turn out in the discussion of these articles that someone might ask that question, and we could indicate however the process has transpired up until that point.
okay, all right.
So that's all I can think of other than the project update, unless, and I know if you've seen the Sewer Works bulletin that John always writes, he's also reviewed the projects in there. I don't know if there's anything that he would have added beyond that.
Maybe the SRFs, we have the SRFs that are probably going to put out to bid. They have to, I think we have to have a contract or a winner of a bid by June 30th. So I do believe that might be going out soon. But I don't really know. I think that might be part of the conversation he's having right now with the engineers. It's the
Right.
same engineers for alcohol, Station 9,
Right.
the SRF secondary upgrades.
And the other thing they talked about Station 9, or John mentioned before about, what they may do with the old pump station and and so on, and looking at perhaps helping and using that in the stormwater system for that area, the Pemberton area that sometimes has flooding, seawater flooding, that they could, utilize that old pump system and infrastructure, I guess that's there for that purpose. But John had said, I think at the last meeting, they would look to getting look for grants perhaps for that
They did.
kind of a project.
It is DPW. It's going to be DPW storm drain, and they did receive Chapter 90 funding. I think 240,000 to change over that station, the old station, to be a storm drain station for the Pemberton area.
For
For the
stormwater.
water, yeah, so
Right.
it doesn't flood down there. So it would help them with the flooding.
Good.
I don't know where they are on bidding or what contractor they're going to use to do it, but I do know that they received the funding, so they should be starting soon.
Okay.
I think Kathy did a good job in project update.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kathy,
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank
Peter.
you.
Thank you. Peter, hey, Peter, I was going to ask you, how is I don't want to give away your thing, but were you able to sell your home, or how is
Yep.
that going? Is that giving away too much information? I don't want to say too much.
No. We have accepted an offer. We have there's a closing date. We have
Congratulations.
our offer accepted. Thank you. And so this may be my last meeting with you
Oh,
folks,
gosh.
and I have enjoyed the time.
And
Well,
I wish we had been able to see each other the last couple of years, because this is a little odd, and I don't use the Zoom because all you would see is my cat. Because I mean, she's parading over and over and over in front of me as it is, and so you would hardly benefit from my visage.
And that's the other thing I was
So-
going to talk about. Do we still want to do an in-person meeting in June? Is that what we were hoping for? Is
Well,
that
I think
something
that-
you think so?
That was certainly Jordan's suggestion. I finally met him in person on the commuter boat since he joined, and it was kind of it was nice to meet you, Jordan. But the other thing about an in-person meeting, I think, and I have to clarify that, and before we consider having that, it says that at least, and I think Laurie West was there in commenting about having Zoom meetings as opposed to in-person meetings. And I think that's optional, but there's not an option for a combination of in-person and Zoom meeting. So I have to clarify what that is. If I think it'd be worthwhile to get together and see each other in person. But I don't know if that then precludes the fact we wouldn't be able to have a Zoom connection for that meeting, because you can't have a hybrid apparently. So
Right.
it's just something we might want to consider, if there's a detriment to having an in-person meeting because there wouldn't be a Zoom connection for people. That's
Be
what,
able to come in, but I would say that, the school is available and, that's probably what we would use, the middle school,
Right.
for the meeting, if we did have.
right.
I think that lends some importance to the advance response, whether someone's going to be at that meeting, scheduled that meeting.
Right.
And on that topic, do we have a tentative date for June?
I-
think do it like the first or second week of June. That's usually when we do it.
Okay.
Let me just take a look at my thing. Yeah, and it's usually, just to let you know, I think it's still, if it's Rick's there, I think it's usually Monday and Wednesdays, right? So it would probably be the 8th or the 10th. That would probably be
Right.
the day.
Okay, good.
And it's important to have that in June before the end of the current fiscal year to set the rates for the next year.
Correct.
That's why June is important. And it's after the annual town meeting, the CFR funds and our budget has been approved at the annual town meeting. So all of that
Yeah.
coincides.
Well, June
Oh, true.
8 to
Which we-
10 is good.
Yes. And if we do in person, do you still want the 4:00, or because you're going to meet in person? I'm just throwing it out there when I give you the dates and the times. Would it have to be later, like a 5:00? Because some people work, so I just, just wondering that.
Or works fine for me normally, so
Same for me.
Okay.
you can maybe send that, when you come up with a date, and then send that out in advance and maybe put that option also, and also what John's schedule is too,
Yeah.
and the staff. Okay, well, I have no other items on the agenda or business. Does anyone else have any comments or items?
No,
I do not.
I'm good.
I think that the wastewater information statement covered it all for project updates. And Kathy, you've done a fine job.
Yes.
Again, Peter's
Same thing. Going to the open meeting thing, I wasn't able to, so I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback.
Okay.
the point of order on that. The other thing that it asked or was stressed is that we do need to respond on any vote. We do need to respond with our individual name and our vote yes or no. And my takeaway from that was that we can no longer use the all in favor, aye, all opposed, motion carries. So just, John, is that what you took away, Rick?
I don't remember that specifically, except I thought it was in context of some very specific articles or specific rules within the organization or committee or board or whatever it is. I don't know that it was for all votes.
Okay.
Or all just articles.
What I'd like to do, I'd like to verify that with Lori
Sure.
before going, but I think it would, just for the purposes of any votes today, that we do identify who voted yes.
And I looked through those slides again, because there was fine details that were in the slides that you read basically go to those slides, so that information should be in print in that. So we'll look at that as well.
All right, yeah, I'll do that, and I'll circle back to you, Rick, with anything I find.
Okay. So beyond that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move so.
Okay, Peter, second to the motion.
I second the motion.
All those in favor, raise their hand or say aye.
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 Aye. I heard all ayes. So the ayes have
For
it,
your names, don't you worry.
and we're
Okay.
adjourned